Ah!
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Ta-da! Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome. This is the Political Spotlight, the 199th episode. I didn't know I was going to do a show until literally 10 minutes ago. I was on the phone with my grandparents, and they were like, hey, what's the number of the show you're doing tonight? And I was like in the middle of having a note typed up to Kate to say, hey, no show. She'd already asked me about what show we were going to do. And I was almost said, no show tonight. It's been a long day for the last 3 days. So we'll just come back fresh tomorrow. But then in talking to my grandparents and realizing, man, nothing stops just because yesterday was a long day, I was like, to hell with it. Let's do a show. I need to do episode 199 because I have some things to say. We've got some things that we need to do looking ahead. And nobody cares that the election happened yesterday. Nobody cares that people won. Nobody cares that people lost. Life just goes on. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am, of course, your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Kate is doing what she does, making sure things run smoothly. We want to thank you for tuning in and talking to us. We very much appreciate that. Please, if you can, hit the like button. If you are so inclined, hit the like button. Let us know you were here. That kind of pushes us forward in the algorithms. Also, if you are not subscribed, please do so. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps us out. If you subscribe, you can click the bell. That way you get notified when we go live. Like yesterday, a bunch of people didn't know. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about is what happened yesterday at 7:21. Something happened at 7:21 p.m. here where a bunch of you were watching that didn't happen anyplace else. So it's important, if you're not subscribed, to get subscribed and to hit the bell. And if you know people that aren't watching this program, you need to share the program with them. And we're going to talk about that. And it's very important. If you're here live, please comment over there. If you're watching on repeat, comment down below. Whatever you feel like doing. If not, that's fine. Watching the show, sharing the show, that's what matters. And we want to thank you for anything that you do. Okay, folks. So we've got a couple of things that I want to talk about. A couple of things that you need to know about. Yeah, I see someone ask about my thoughts on Julie McGuire. I'm going to tell you about those thoughts on Julie McGuire. If a couple of you may not know who Julie McGuire is, We're going to talk about that. You might want to find out who she is. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about a couple different things. We're going to talk about what goes on tomorrow in the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meeting. We have a lot to talk about as far as that. But before we get there, I am going to spend just a little bit of time, and people might be like, hey, wait a minute, what? Why are you spending time doing this? Nobody cares about this. This is important. I'm going to spend a little bit of time patting ourselves on the back. Yay us. If you were here yesterday, if you watched, if you were a part of last night's live results show, then, ladies and gentlemen, as far as Delaware County goes, and I'm working on every place else, Madison County was a pretty quick turnaround as well, but definitely Delaware County. If you started watching, and at one point at about 7:25, there were up to 90 of you that were watching live. And if you were, in fact, one of those people here watching the program, you were made aware of the Delaware County election results, or the results as it stood with 26 out of 78 precincts in, ahead of anybody else, before literally anybody else. And then when Rick brought the last election results around to me at like 7:58, and we read off those results from Delaware County, if you were here and you were watching it, you were the first people to hear that. And people might be like, well, wait a minute, why does that matter? What does that what's that got to do with anything? And in the long run, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't care. You don't care if you find out what's going on until the next day. Some people don't care. So, to some people don't matter. I just want to say, really listen to this, folks. This is very important. It is to me. I'm going to say this again. Some of you are probably sick of hearing it, but I feel like it's important. I'm going to say this again. The political spotlight. We here are political commentary. We are not journalists. We do not claim to be journalists. We do not pretend to be journalists. We do not try to be journalists. I personally, speaking for myself, I'm an opinion guy. I'm a political junkie. Kate is into research, likes doing those things. Kate cares about what's going on. Kate follows what's going on in her home community. She follows, obviously, what goes on in Muncie. She knows more about what's going on in Muncie probably than any other person, maybe than Alva. Maybe Alva knows more than her. But I'd put her up there next to Jackie Fisher, and Jackie Fisher is a citizen here. Kate, but Kate also knows what's going on in Madison County and Henry County and Indianapolis and a lot of other stuff. Kate follows what goes on. Brandon follows. Brandon's a big research guy. And we are all, even though we are all different people and do things differently and say things differently, and are interested in different things, we are all political junkies, the three of us. We all have different aspects of things that we like and parts of the political debate and the political spectrum. And although we are very similar in our beliefs and are all basically on the same side of things, we all vary. We're not identical in our political beliefs. We don't just stack right on top of each other. We swing, more left or right than one of each other or whatever. But we all care about it. We all care about political goings on and the governmental goings on, from local aspect of things to the state aspect of things and national. It's all important, and we all follow various aspects of all of it. But the political spotlight here, the YouTube page, the YouTube channel, youtube.com at /symbol at the political spotlight. We are a platform that gives political commentary, and it's a lot of political commentary. We do 5 nights of shows a week, sometimes 6, sometimes 7. And that's big, and we cover it from our perspective. We will listen to your perspective. We can agree, we can disagree, but it doesn't matter if you hate us or if you agree with us. A hater's view, our supporters' view. I mean, look, Mike Jones hates me more than anybody else. I'm probably one of his top hated people. Even that dumbass tunes in and watches enough to comment, enough to know what goes on. I love it. I love it when people that hate us watch. But I think it is really, really big that we cover the things that we cover, because it's not getting covered in the star press. It's not getting covered on WLBC. It's not getting covered on WMUN. It's not getting covered on WIBC, the biggest conservative talk station in Indiana. In the times when things in Muncie and Randolph County and Henry County and Madison County are getting covered by Tony Katz or Kendall and Casey or most of them, it's because I'm on the program doing it. I'm sitting in studio in Indianapolis telling what's going on here. I am happy and I am proud to say that the political spotlight was the first platform. We were the first source, the first entity, the first media organization. I don't call ourselves journalists. Some people still do. I will never use that term. I will say that we might fall under the bigger umbrella of media, of press in a way, but I don't look at ourselves as journalists. I don't even say investigative journalist. But some people might, and I won't begrudge that. I disagree. But we were the first entity, okay, that were able to bring in real time the results of last night's Delaware County election. I'm sure that there were other places in Madison County that might have published the results before we did, but we broadcast those results to a large platform of people quicker than a lot of other places did. Henry County, it took forever for their results to come in. And I know that the Courier-Times had their topics, their topics on the election. They had them ready to go, and they had the pictures as soon as they came out. They published probably about 10 minutes before we did. But how many people were clicking on the Courier-Times website? I would say if you look, we announced to a larger audience than they did at that time. And I'm happy and I'm proud. I'm proud of that. Yeah. Stupid podcaster, stupid Bilbrey, POS caster. Love it. All the names. Dumbass, wrong, Kiss of Death Tour. Dude, I love every bit of that. If we are defined by our haters, that makes me proud. I love it. I think it's fantastic. If I agree with everything said here, I've disengaged my brain. I tune in for info. Yeah, I appreciate that, Charlize. Good info happens here. I appreciate that. Stupid podcast. Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of that. I think that's all fantastic. And look, it's a pat on the back to us, but it's a pat on the back to you guys. I appreciate it. It's because you guys watch. It's because there's those of you that spread the word and pass the information out, and that you guys engage. And so I appreciate that. when Delaware County government's own website was down. Listen to what I'm telling you. Delaware County's own website was down. That's really, really crazy. They were getting the information out by text and back and forth. We had the papers in hand that were printed off by the clerk's office. And we had that information. And we were able to broadcast that. Delaware County's own website was down. When that happens, it leaves the city's channel 60 down. When the channel 60 runs off of the Delaware County website for election results. When that happens, Delaware County's down, means the city of Muncie channel 60 is down. But guess what? It also leaves the Star Press online edition out of luck. It also leaves WLBC out of luck. The only other organization that was there getting real-time results with me was, I believe, the Daily Mail, the Daily News, the Daily Mail. That's a London publication. I don't think the Daily Mail was there. Let me rephrase that. The Daily News, that's the Ball State newspaper. I believe that was who was there. And it was funny because she was the chick next to me that kept asking for help. She's a real journalist. Hell, I'm not the journalist. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of Kate. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of Brandon. I'm proud of you guys, and I'm thankful for you guys. So I just wanted to say that. And that is the main reason I was like, yeah, hell, I'm going to go on there just long enough to praise ourselves, to pat ourselves on the back. Go team. We kick ass. It is very peculiar that it is very interesting, very peculiar that they had so much trouble last night, Delaware County. It seems like it only happens in the county ran elections. They didn't have problems like that last year in the city election. They came out easy, but they had problems last night. They had problems 2 years ago. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Brandon is doing good down there. Yeah, listen. Hello, Brenda. Our great election cycle only turned out one good candidate for a win in the primary, while putting in Democrats posing as Republicans. It's a total disgrace. Yeah, listen, and there's going to be time. I'm still in the midst. Today, I just took some time off this morning. There's going to be time where I'm going to really break down what happened and go over all of that. Last night's election was personal wins for people. I mean, listen, I'm just going to be really honest. I think last night's a really big win, obviously, for Stephen Brand. But we all knew that going into it. I knew he was going to win on January 15th. I knew he was going to win in February. I knew he was going to win in March. Let me tell you what last night's big win was. Last night's big win was David Williams coming up ahead of Ed Carroll. David Williams is obviously on here. He's watching. He ran for county council, and I've heard tell that Mr. Williams was very excited last night when he won, that there were people there that would have thought that he had just won the mayor's race. It's very big what he won, and some people will be like, "Well, that's not a big position," but it is a position. Now David will have a voice in caucusing in folks. He will have a voice in voting for the party chair. There's things that David needs to know and David needs to learn. He is learning. I applaud him for getting involved. There are things that he has said or done that I would say I didn't necessarily agree with, or that he would probably say he disagreed with things that I say. That happens. He's learning, and I love it. That's where we need people getting involved and learning. Do I think he would have been the best selection for county council? I don't know. I don't know. I think that he's an excellent selection for a precinct committee person. I think putting your name out there, I honor anyone who puts their name on the ballot and runs. And anybody can learn, anybody can win and learn and go through the process. So he is just like anybody else. He has the same right and the same ability to do it. And I really take my hat off to him and give him a shout out for what he managed to pull off. And I hope he sticks with it and continues right along. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. We need more people like this. We need people like Frank. We need people like David. We need people like normal human beings to get involved and be a part of things on both sides. Listen, I absolutely think and agree that with a statement that was made last night that the Democrats need to get some things together and they need to start putting candidates on the ballot. We need to start having a good selection of Republicans and a good selection of Democrats so that both sides can be proud to come out and vote and get involved and run down and pick for the people they want to run. The only way that this works is if we all have a choice. We need a freaking choice. Yeah, I know who Lisa is. Russ Willis just put someone on the ballot, and the person did not even realize what Russ had done. That does not surprise me one bit. That is insane. Russ is insane.
Another interesting little tidbit. I don't know if you caught this. Russ Willis lost his delegate race.
So Russ lost the delegate race. Did Russ win or lose the PC race?
I think he lost it too.
Did he really?
I think so.
Let me look on the
stepchildren took 54% of the PC seats in Madison County.
That is big. That is huge. Really, really, really big.
Yeah.
See, that's what needs to happen in Delaware County. To me, that is the next big thing that happens here. We need to get
PCs,
normal human beings in the PC chairs. Jeanette, I don't know how to say it. Is it Janet or Jeanette? Janet Garand, she watches on here quite a bit. She won last night. We need to get those people to win the seats, but we need to do a big push where we get a lot of those. I think the stepchildren is a good title for anybody running out. We need to get those people out running against them. I think that would be really, really big. Let me look here. Did you sent it to me last night, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
The Madison County thing? Oh, it's right here. Let me pull this up here and look. So we're saying that, let me see. I think they put that on this too. They should have.
Yeah, I think they did. I'll let you look.
Here. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Kate. Okay. So we'll be able to tell it right here. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So here we're in the Republican side. Republican. Okay. We're down for surveyor, at large. Okay, here we go. We're in the committeeman. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, all right. So while Devin Norrick lost his commissioner race, Devin Norrick beat Evan McMullen for precinct committee person. That's big.
Dave Sargent won his.
Wow, Dave Sargent won. That's big.
Dave Sargent won his.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dave, yeah, I just saw 81-24. That's crazy. I love it.
Lapel won 2 out of the 3 with stepchildren in the seats.
Wow. That's big.
And the one that lost by 7 votes.
Oh man. That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks, but 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's a majority.
Hell yeah, absolutely. That is amazing. All right, I'm not seeing him yet.
Did he run for PC?
I would think that he would.
I don't see him. I just see him in the delegates, and he lost.
Where did he run? Which delegate seat did he run for?
State convention delegates for District 1.
I don't see him. I don't see him in that run.
Go to the next page. He's the last one on the list.
Russell Willis. Yeah, okay.
There
Russell Willis. Yeah, I don't see him. I guess he didn't run for... Russell Willis must not have ran for precinct committee person. See, yeah. I think that's a bunch of crap. I don't think that you should be able to be chair unless you're a precinct committee person. I don't think that you should be able to be chair.
Catherine, did he run for PC though?
He ran for PC. We're talking about Russell Willis. Did he run for PC?
Hi. Do you know which district?
I'm not seeing him on here.
Do you know which district, Catherine? Did he win his PC if he ran too?
Yeah. Which
district? Or precinct, sorry.
Okay, for state delegate, he ran in District 1. Yes, we know that. We've seen that. Did he run for precinct? Okay, for precinct, he's in Union Township. All right, let me go to that. Did he win? Anderson. Jackson. Lafayette. Monroe.
Pipe. Richland. Stony Creek. Union.
I don't see him on here. I see Jerry Billiou and Sam Hanna. Oh, no, I see
Scott Green and Ingalls.
Scott Green and William, Billy Ingalls.
Billy Ingalls. I don't see him on there.
Yeah, he didn't run for precinct committee person.
Oh, now wouldn't that be nice if that worked? If you beat the county chairman in the PC race, you win the chair.
I think that the chair needs to be
Anyone but Ed?
no, because there's plenty of other shitheads. Tony Skinner. I think Skinner needs to be the party chairman. I don't think he would do it until he's done being sheriff, but that's in 2 years. And I think that he would be.
That explains why he's not on the list.
Why he's not on the ballot?
Yeah. Unopposed. I mean, in the results. If you notice, it's Union 1, Union 3, Union 5.
Okay.
2 and 4 weren't listed because they were unopposed.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's shitty because he was unopposed. So, okay, whatever. All right. That makes sense. Well, and I'm going to try to schedule a time with Catherine to get her on to just go over all of the precinct people and win all that stuff. Before we move on to what's going on tomorrow in the Delaware County redevelopment thing, I want to read something to you all. This is very interesting. And this goes to one of the first questions we were asked tonight. This is written by a man called Don Bates, and some of you may know Don. Some of you might not know Don. He's a financial advisor. He lives in the Richmond, Wayne County area. Don Bates was a Republican candidate for Indiana State Treasurer in 2014. He ran as for U.S. House in 2012. He's ran for the 6th Congressional District, and he's ran and been involved in a lot of political aspects at the state level and national level for years. He is very well known at the state level, and he is a financial advisor in Richmond. He wrote a really interesting piece about 10 hours ago and published it on Facebook at about 10 o'clock this morning. And I'm just going to read it as he has it. He says, "Wow, what do you say about Election Day? I'm not sure I can clearly articulate everything I want to share, but I'm going to try. Number one," and this is what he says, and I disagree with some of what he says, and I agree with other aspects. He says, "I am proud of the 2 candidates I endorsed." This is Don Bates speaking. "Suzanne Crouch worked very hard. I'm not a fan of Suzanne Crouch myself, so she could have been dead last. I would have been fine. But he supported her. I am very proud of Suzanne Crouch. She got outspent, not outworked. I don't know how hard she worked because I would never have went anywhere she was at. I will tell you she got outspent. Mike Braun should not be our governor nominee. I just absolutely hate that. Mike Braun is absolutely horrible. It speaks badly for rainwater going into November because Braun is just going to throw money at this, and it's well, of course, Bates talks about this later on. So reading on. Her strong second place finish is a testimony to who she is. She deserves our admiration. Now, I'm proud of Mike Speedy, he goes on to say. In the past 2 weeks, Jefferson Shreve spent $1.1 million in negative ads. It's tough to overcome having that much money spent against you. It's unfortunate that Mike's team felt the need to attack Jameson, but I'm sure they were doing what they felt was best to win. Unfortunately, I think it backfired in the rural 6th district. Mike Speedy is an honorable man, and I am sorry for what he experienced. Personally, I know how it feels. Frankly, and this is point number 2, frankly, I'm discouraged by what our politics have become. And I'm telling you, if there is anybody sitting in Indiana that does not agree with Don's statement there, you're obviously not involved in politics. If you're sitting there, if you're a chairman of a party and you think that yesterday was good, if you're supporting Sherry Riggin, if you're supporting Brad Bookout, if you were against, if you're supporting Brand and you're happy with where we are in the state of Indiana, in the political sphere, something's wrong with you, because Don's sentence is right and we all need to be there. Frankly, I am discouraged with what our politics have become. Plain and simple. And then he goes on to talk about Jefferson Shreve. And while I feel the same way about Jefferson Shreve, you could plug a lot of other people into this. Plain and simple, Jefferson Shreve bought the nomination. There are a lot of people that did that yesterday. By his own admission, as an Indy mayoral candidate, he shares none of our values and doesn't support our presidential nominee. I could care less about that. He clearly has work to do to prove he will represent more than Perry Township. I am beginning to worry that our elections mirror the caste system in India. That is a statement that I take out of this that I think is very interesting. I am beginning to worry that our elections mirror the caste system in India. The ruling class being able to buy elections does not bode well for us as a nation. It does not. It absolutely does not. Having said that, had the field been narrowed as strongly as I urge it to be, Jefferson would never have won, period. Okay, then he goes on, point 3. The Tea Party needs to take a good, strong look at their influence or lack thereof. This morning, a former attorney general who was the choice of many of them came in dead last. That's Curtis Hill. Curtis Hill used to be the absolute belle of the ball. He used to be the person that everybody loved. Well, then it came out that he was a touchy touch and he was kind of a weirdo, and that turns a lot of people off. And so, they got to look into that, okay? But the Tea Party wanted him, and they pushed hard for him, and look where that got him. It got him dead last. Maybe their involvement got him dead last. Maybe the fact that he can't keep his hands to himself got him dead last. It's probably a mixture of both. Don goes on to say, I'm clearly old enough to remember when the Tea Party was so strong in influence that they cleared the field for one candidate to unseat a 36-year incumbent. And yeah, that's true. The Tea Party at one time was very influential. It came in after all of everything that was experienced through 9/11 and everything. And that's back when there was a lot of people that were coming together. Kumbaya, America is great. We're not in the same place today that we were then, for better or worse. I tend to think for worse, but the Tea Party does not hold the influence that it once did. And I'm not saying that I'm not happy about that. I'm not sad about that. It just is what it is. The whole idea of party is trash, in my opinion. That's me speaking, not Don. Going on, Don says, the real winners yesterday were consultants. And that's true. Yesterday's Republican primary was without question the most expensive in Hoosier history. I'm reading this entire thing for that line right there. The real winners yesterday were consultants. Yesterday's Republican primary was without question the most expensive in Hoosier history. I begged candidates to spend their money wisely and not to allow themselves to be suckered into the "you can win this thing" sales pitch. This morning, most of those consultants have sent their thank you notes to their clients and are now looking at the next races in 2 years from now. It is certainly not a good feeling to be on the losing end of that relationship. There are many lessons to be learned about the way forward. Hopefully, after the emotions of disappointment dissipate, we can have a good discussion about what went wrong last night. I hope I can be part of that conversation. Candidates, please know the sun will shine again. I promise. Love you all. Don Bates Jr. Okay, and that's a pretty interesting post. And then a local Politico, someone that's been around in the circles around here for a long time, Dan McDonald had commented in his comment and said, "You're correct. How many low information voters do we have?" A woman who passed away won the Indiana 7th Congressional District Republican primary. All right. Think about that in your head. Okay. Let's not say it nice. A dead woman won yesterday's 7th Congressional District primary. Now, I don't care who you are. It could have been 15 dead people with 30 living people. They will not beat Carson, Andre Carson, who is the Democrat incumbent in that seat. And it's because it's so gerrymandered. It has been gerrymandered in such a way that no one is going to beat him. That's just the way that it is. It will not, there's no other way there's no other way. That's just the way that it is. No one will beat him. And that is a horrible deal. He is not I am not a fan of him. I am not a big fan of Andre Carson. And we will be better off as a state when he is not in office. But the fact that the Republicans, let me tell you who the Republicans had. They had several candidates. They had a candidate who has falsely accused people of made wild accusations, tied up the court system. His name is Gabe Whitley, whatever. He is from Evansville, and he is running in a congressional race in Indianapolis. If that's not at first a problem, if you don't think that that's a problem, okay, it is. It absolutely is. But it's a problem everywhere. You should, just like anything else, you should not be able to live in Muncie and run for a congressional race in the region up by Valpo. You should not be able to live in Evansville and run for a congressional race in Indianapolis. That's just insane. Just absolutely insane. And yes, Charlize, you're right. The gerrymandering that we are currently dealing with. Now, listen, both parties do it, but the current gerrymandering that is a problem has been done by the super duper majority in Indiana, which is the Republican Party. And they knew, I mean, unless they really just went crazy, there was no way to get out of that. So I think what they just ended up doing was they just basically said, okay, Indianapolis will be just the congressional district. Boom. And that's just the Indiana's 7th congressional district. I don't know if all of you know what it looks like. Let me pull it up on a map here. Let me show you what it looks like on a map. It's really quite ridiculous. I've got it here. I'm just trying to share it. Okay. Here we go. So, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be, just because of what it is. It's not even all of Indianapolis. That's the thing. 6 goes into the bottom half, which is, it's comical. Look here. This is, let's see if I can get it bigger. Okay. Yeah, right there. So that shows you just basically the top three, the top 2/3 of Indianapolis, of Marion County, is essentially the 7th district, and it's a lot of urban city. It's a lot of close. It's city life. It's city. It's the houses right on top of each other and whatnot. So it's very, you know, inner city cities, large cities are. That's the reason that they are drawn up like that. If you look everywhere else, they're gerrymandered in a way. The Democrats, when they're in control, they gerrymander them that way to make sure that they're in control of those, and the Republicans do what they do. You know, it is, they know what they're doing when they do it. It's ridiculous. It's absolute crap. And let me tell you, it's going to be this way for 10 years. It's 10 years. It'll be another 10 years before these are looked at and drawn differently. And so there's a lot to deal with this that is a problem, but it is what it is. But on the Republican side of things, a dead woman won yesterday's Republican primary. Just absolutely nuts. Absolutely crazy. So, you know, there's a lot of things that are wrong with what goes on. What were the turn? Oh, yes. Yesterday for the state. For the state, I don't know. But I do know we didn't. Alva's actually the winner. I have to say, well, there might be people that are more close than Alva. I don't have the numbers for the state. I haven't looked at those anywhere yet, but I do know. I have that somewhere. I know I do. Just 1 second, because I know that I wrote this down. Oh, yeah, right here it is. So the night before the primary, we talked about Delaware County's voter turnout. And we predicted this. I predicted 22.5. Audie Barber predicted a low 8.7%. Ryan Webb predicted 35%. Troy Ingram predicted 12.8%. GW, you guys know who the GW is, predicted 8%. Paula predicted 9%. Jackie Fisher predicted 15%. Stumblefoot predicted 12.5%. And Alva predicted 19%. Under, what he said was under 19%. So what I took Alva being for was meaning like near 19, but low under it. So if you don't use Price is Right's rules, Alva wins. If you do use Price is Right's rules, Jackie Fisher wins. Jackie Fisher wins if we use Price is Right's rules. The closest without going over would be Jackie Fisher at 15%, because, as Charlize has said, Delaware County was 18%. That was the turnout. Statewide turnout. Let me look here. Primary. Indiana's statewide voter turnout for the 2024 primary was well, damn it. Secretary of State Election Division. All right, let's see what the Secretary of State says here. Yesterday's election results. Kate, can you find them? I'm having a hard time locating them.
You keep talking, I'll keep looking.
Okay. Yeah, fine. See what you can find. So anyways, she's going to try to pull that up there. I'm screwing around on that. It's just going down a rabbit hole. So she's going to look on that. But basically, let me X that off. Everywhere had like wildly low turnout. Any action taken with the laws, rules, null and void, they know doing wrong, add themselves to null and void. I'm not really sure what you're talking about there. I don't really know. Explain to me what you're saying there, Karen. I'll try to answer. How many illegal immigrants do you think voted? That'll be interesting. Yeah. The Star Press wrote a couple interesting articles. I guess I don't mean interesting specifically, but they wrote some articles we're going to look at. Before we move into tomorrow, my thought on, while Kate's looking for that, before we move into my thoughts on tomorrow's redevelopment commission meeting, I do want to talk about the fact that Republican governor nominee Mike Braun has named his hopeful running mate as being Julie McGuire. Now, that's really, really interesting because Julie McGuire, she is the Republican favorite who 2 years ago beat John Jacob for his seat in the the Indiana State House. She represents District 93, and she is the one, ladies and gentlemen, who, if you recall, when Brandon came on and we were talking about the Indiana Republican House Caucus Political Action Committee that was funding money to the candidates and had the apparent deal with the company that did the mailers. Julie McGuire is the one challenger who was given that perk as well. And so what was interesting is the candidate that we were talking about that was told, no, we won't help you because you're running against J.D. Prescott. She was a challenger and she was told no. But Julie McGuire was allowed to have that perk because the Indiana Republican Party did not like John Jacob. And so they were actively working to get him out. And they threw untold amounts of money at this woman. I mean, they were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for this woman to win one primary. So when we talk about the folks coming out and saying the Republican Party shouldn't get involved and shouldn't pick favorites in the primary, and it's those same people that welcome crap like that, it's like, you know, who are you kidding here? They do this all the time. This is what they do. It's just sickening. Let me see. Yeah, I guess we don't have an actual voter turnout yet. I have not put them all together. I have not put it all together. I mean, we could go down all 92 counties and figure it out, but I have not done that. I have not done that myself.
It's almost $700,000 that was spent to get her seat that she's
$700,000.
Yeah,
$700,000. $650. Let's say $650. They spent $650,000. It's 12.5, trust me. They spent $750,000 to get her seat. So whoever she is, whoever she's connected to, whoever she's wanting to win, she's pretty special and important to someone, because Mike Braun, who should not have won yesterday, by the way, Indiana's Republican governor nominee, Mike Braun, that just makes me sick to say that, he makes his lieutenant governor endorsement. Now, because keep in mind, they don't just outright pick. It's not like president, vice president, because it's the Indiana state delegates who will actually pick the nominee. Okay. Mike Braun doesn't get to say, I want Julie McGuire, and Julie McGuire is the nominee. That doesn't work like that. They will go to the state convention and they will give their speeches, and everyone that is listed to be considered as lieutenant governor candidate will get to speak, and then the delegates will vote. And so they will essentially, the delegates in the state of Indiana will pick between Micah Beckwith, and Julie McGuire. Those are the two people who are now being considered. So that's what's going on there. I don't know what's going on there. So that's who the choice will be for on the Republican side. And it's really interesting. The the Star Press ran an article from the Indianapolis Star that says U.S. Senator Mike Braun, who on Tuesday became Indiana's Republican nominee for governor, revealed his endorsement for lieutenant governor on Wednesday in an interview with the Indy Star. Should Republican delegates vote Braun's way at the Indiana GOP convention this summer, just one term state representative Julie McGuire will be Braun's running mate in the fall. I'm excited about him being the governor, McGuire told Indy Star Wednesday. Well, of course. I'm excited about him not being afraid to be bold. And that's what we need. We need the courage to do the right thing for Indiana. Yeah, that would be nice. And I'm excited and humbled to be part of it. Braun won the primary handily on Tuesday, earning 40% of the vote in a six-way race that included sitting Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, former Commerce Secretary Brad Chambers, Fort Wayne entrepreneur Eric Doden, former Attorney General Curtis Hill, and Indianapolis mother Jamie Reitenauer. Reitenauer, not the same thing as Reitenauer. Two different spellings, two different names. McGuire, by comparison, is a newcomer to elected office following a 2-year stint as a legislative policy analyst for the Indiana Senate Republicans. She waged her first campaign against incumbent for State House seat, which represents the southeastern portion of Marion County in 2022. With the backing of the House Republican leadership, no shit, she unseated Republican John Jacob, who routinely butted heads with the House leadership over his no-compromise anti-abortion stance. Indiana, Braun's choice had primarily to do with his policy objectives, he said. His top priority is addressing health care, and McGuire has, in his eyes, proven herself as a policy wonk in that topic. Her bill last session introducing changes to state employee health plans that would have saved the state $84 million a year made it to the House floor. There were a lot of people that might have had political interest, Braun said, of potential running mates. I was looking for somebody that had the legislative chops to come in and do that because I intend to be active in that arena. Any other political calculations, like her connections to central Indiana balancing out Braun's rural roots, are merely a bonus, he said. McGuire ran unopposed in Tuesday's Republican primary for re-election to her state house. Per Indiana law, McGuire would not be allowed to be a state representative if she becomes lieutenant governor. Well, no shit. So my question is, he didn't just pick this yesterday. So she literally just won. This is the bullshit. This is why it's ridiculous in how this stuff goes down. Okay. Whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. But the two have an unusual challenge to face in the Republican convention. Micah Beckwith, a conservative pastor from Noblesville, announced his own campaign for lieutenant governor last summer, which was really strange, and he's been courting delegates ever since. Beckwith said he wanted to give delegates an actual choice at the convention. Typically, the party's gubernatorial nominee endorses a person as their running mate, and the delegates just ceremoniously vote that person through. Braun will still have his say in recommending McGuire, but now the question of how much sway he has is left to the delegates. He's not too worried about it. He said he's been building relationships with delegates in all 92 counties over the last 6 years of his state Senate term. Right. But the delegates just got voted yesterday, Doobie. All right. You'll find that we'll know how to run campaigns, obviously, he said, which means they know how to write checks and pay money and buy elections. That's basically what he means. One of the campaigns is going to get delegates on board, and I think we'll do it. I don't mind the competition at all. Whomever the delegates choose in June will join Braun on the November ballot, where he'll face Democrat Jennifer McCormick and Libertarian Donald Rainwater. As a freshman representative this past legislative session, McGuire was most known for her bill that sought to undo the special taxing district in downtown Indianapolis that lawmakers slipped through the state budget the prior year. By session's end, the General Assembly worked out a compromise allowing Indianapolis to have the tax district, but with certain groups exempted and only after the city goes through the ordinance process again. McGuire was removed as a bill author by that time and voted against the final bill, saying she doesn't support adding property taxes for businesses. She successfully passed a different bill last session, adding new guidelines for when the Department of Child Services can terminate parental rights for the sake of a child's safety. House Enrolled Act 1369 got unanimous support. McGuire is also the secretary of the Perry Township GOP Club and is on the board of directors for the Roncalli High School, a Catholic school in Indianapolis. She's a mother of 4 who was born and raised in Indianapolis. Running for lieutenant governor hadn't been on her radar at all, she said. When she got a phone call from the Braun campaign, she assumed at first it was to take on a policy role. I'm so beyond honored and humbled that there are people that put my name out there, she said. It's quite an honor. I think what she means is she's connected to people that are willing to write checks and pay money, because that's what all of this is. Now, like Kate has said here, I'm happy there's a choice. All right. I'm happy that there's a choice, as so many other political issues and political elections, the choice is between, two strange cats. So I don't know what kind of choice that is. Between Micah Beckwith and Julie McGuire, my choices has to be with Micah. I am not for Julie at all. I'm not for that at all. So my slant would be for Micah. But obviously my pick is Donald Rainwater. Now, it worries me because I'm still hearing people say things like, I just got into a little bit of a spat with someone earlier in the week that they couldn't believe that I would be supporting Rainwater because Rainwater just doesn't have what it takes to pull people away from the Republican Party, this person said. And I'm like, it's because of that type of thinking. It's because of that kind of thinking. I just don't understand. Elections go like this. It's real easy. You as a person go in and you vote. And you press the keys and the buttons and you lock in who you want to win. And if you go in and you vote for person A and a bunch of other people do, then person A can win. And if a bunch of people want person B to win, but we get more people to go in and push person A will win. I don't know. Gayla says, I just secured my 3rd term as a delegate. I've never heard a peep out of Braun. Every delegate I know is committed to Beckwith. Yeah, right? Now, I know a lot of the delegates from up here in Delaware County, and I will talk to the folks. I know there were a couple people that just got elected as delegate yesterday that I'm going to talk with, and they were going. I know none of those people had considered. I know that they had no knowledge of Julie. Now, Braun has been to Delaware County on a couple of occasions and met secretly with people. And so I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know what, of course, has happened there behind closed doors. You know, I would like to know how. I would like to know how long this Braun and McGuire relationship has been budding. I'd like to know how long this has been a thought. It's very, very strange. Okay. So Ryan Webb has just posted, the election isn't over yet. Precinct 90 has not counted any of the election day walk-in votes. They only show a handful of absentee ballots when in 2020 there were 75% more absentee ballots. I'll mark that down, David Williams. I will mark that down. I will be there because people have been talking about putting Beckwith and I in the same room, but I just haven't. It has not happened yet. Now, wait a minute. No, you must mean, wait a minute. You must mean 60 then. 60, not 90. Hamilton Township Fire Station is where I vote. And that's precinct 60. Stand by. Let me pull this up and look. That better not be. Why? I mean, why in the hell would that be? No. Okay. So, wait a minute, Ryan. What in the actual hell? It's not my precinct. I wish it was, because I would throw a it's not Hamilton Township. It's precinct 90. It's not Hamilton Township. My precinct is 60, and that's Hamilton Township. So let me show you guys what he's talking about. So look at this. Precinct 90. It has absentees 14, walk-in absentees 19. 0 election day. Election absentee walk-in. So why are there 0 election day? So let me see what precinct 90 is. Precinct 90 is Eden Church. It's 11205 North State Road 3. Oh, wow. So it's precinct 90 on Eden. Okay. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's a I mean, well, let me tell you. Let's just be honest here and let's look at this. Okay, so up on the screen right now, this is a pretty big screw up. Like, so look, there's 100 and okay. So let's take a look at what happened 4 years ago. All right. So I didn't know you would be on here. I want to ask you a question. If you're still here. Did you go to the Delaware County? Did you go out to the Justice Center, or was it at the Justice Center or at the Delaware County building? Did you go to the Justice Center or the county building today, Ryan? Did you go to one of those places? Because I heard something crazy and I want to find out if it's true or not. So I don't know where it was, but a little birdie told me that you were in either the Justice Center or the county building. I would think it would be the county building because that's where voter registration is, but not the Justice Center, but which is where the clerk's office is. A little birdie told me that you were up in one of these buildings. I'll say it was county building, and that you were talking to Rick, and that Rick yelled at you. Someone said that you were up questioning about how you were talking about the process of doing a recall, which in all fairness, you mentioned last night that you were going to do that. So he should have known about it. So you were at the county building, and I heard that Rick was just yelling and screaming at you, and that he slammed the door and slammed you out of the whatever office it was. So you're saying the county building. So did that happen? Can you confirm or deny that? Because I don't know why he would be doing that. You're a candidate. It's commonly happens. I mean, you know, my grandmother ran in a race, and she did a recount. Matter of fact, they ended up doing a recount they did 3 different recounts in her race. And that was when
Are you on screen to see comments?
Yeah. He said he went to both. I went to both. It'll be interesting to see. I had heard about this yelling match. Well, it wasn't yelling. I'd heard that it was one-sided. I want to know if that happened, because if that happened, that's completely out of line. If as a candidate you went up to ask the chief of elections a question and he yelled, yes, there was a massive blow up where he cussed me up and down and slammed the door in my face. Why? What for? What did you ask him? I mean, were you calling him names? Like, what did you ask him? That is uncalled for. Why is this? So, look, while Ryan is writing there, we're gonna do this. We're gonna look at the primary election of 2020. We're gonna go down to precinct 90. And we're gonna look at what happened at precinct 90. Okay. Well, I'm telling you, I know the area well. This is basically one precinct north of me. I'm at precinct 60. I'm in precinct 60 at Hamilton County, at Hamilton Township Fire Department, which is at 3 and Royerton, and the Eden Church is up on 3, just a hair north of Gardens of Memory. It's like half a mile north of 3 and 28. It said in 2020, which was COVID year, that 143 people were walking in. Let's see what it was 4 years before that. Okay. So, 2020, it's 2024, 3, 2, 1, 20, 4, 3, 2, 1, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Let's see what it was in 16. I about had to take my shoes off of that, folks. Okay. In 2016. Oh, wow. All right. See, this is a little bit different. Look at this, Ryan, and everybody else that's looking. So in a normal non-COVID year, there were 401 walk-ins. 401 walk-ins in a normal non-COVID year. Okay. Now, let's go back and look at how many there were in 2020, right? 2020, there were 143. And let's go look at how many there were this year. Zero. So while this is not going to change, oh, sorry, I didn't get you over there. Sorry. Zero. So while this will not change, even if there are 401 or if there are 143, this will not change King and Brand, and nor will it change anyone else. This absolutely could change 4th to 3rd place for Delaware County Council at large. This is a big deal. Now, also, let's get back. Ryan says, I simply went and informed him of my intent to seek a recount, which is every candidate's right. You, Ryan Webb, literally said last night, I got so pissed off because I heard people saying, wait till we hear about voter fraud. Ryan didn't say voter fraud. Ryan didn't get on and say voter fraud. We're not going to watch all of this because you can go to his channel and you can watch it. And I posted this on my wall, but I do just want you guys to hear that's not what Ryan did last night. Ryan got on last night and Ryan congratulated the winners. Ryan had kind words to say about James King, who lost. Ryan had good things to say about everyone who ran against him, about Bookout and all of those people. Ryan had good things to say about the Democrats that came out and voted against him, and was very clear. Ryan was not negative. He gave them their due.
You guys, but I have got sunburnt today with my face. I had no idea that I was getting burnt this bad, and I really didn't feel it until I got home. Today we come up a little bit short, and it was a good run. It was a good race, and I'm proud of the way we ran the race. I like to think that normally I take a lot of pride in saying I'm the hardest working candidate running for office, but hell, even this year, Stephen Brand, man, I cannot keep up with that guy. That guy did a great job. Stephen won, and I was proud of him, man. I mean, he upset a commissioner who served 3 terms as commissioner and a term as county council. You know, James King is no slouch, and he's done a lot in Delaware County. And for Stephen Brand to come here as a first-time candidate and unseat him and really beat him pretty handily, that's quite the accomplishment and something to be proud of. So I'm proud of Mr. Brand for that, and you know, he's going to serve Delaware County really, really well. And moving forward, I hope all of you guys support him. As for my own race, you know, there was about 13,600 votes. So out of 13,600 votes, it looks like we come up just a little bit short. As of now, the vote count has me losing by 67 votes. So super close, right? We almost did it, but hey, almost doesn't get you there, right? You got to win. And there's no trophies for fourth place. And we don't want no fourth place trophies. So we'll take that. And, you know, congratulations to the winners. Brad Bookout won, Jessica Piper won, and Eugene Whitehead won. I'm really impressed with Eugene. I'll be honest. I knew it was going to be a tough fight. I thought I'd still beat Eugene. So he's never won any election he's been in. He was caucused in. So kudos to him, man. He surprised me. He really did well. And he's a good councilman. So no hard feelings for Eugene. I mean, I think he'll do a really good job. But I'm going to go and I guess I'm getting a report. As you know, I've exposed and I've pointed out there's a lot of corruption in Delaware County. There's a lot of people, what I call soft corruption, who do things who are not on the up and up. And I'm not making any accusations. I'm not saying there's any corruption at all. But for the sake of transparency, I think the voters and the citizens of the community would feel better knowing that the election was solid. And, you know, there's no doubts, no questions. Usually a recount only moves the needle, I don't know, maybe 5-10 votes. And we lost by 67 votes. So I don't expect it to do anything as far as changing the outcome of the election. For the sake of transparency, I think it's something that the voters deserve and are owed. The only real thing that you can even have go wrong in an election like this, where there could be a difference, a discrepancy, I guess, if you would be the absentee ballots. And what that is if you vote on the machine locks your vote, and that's it. So there's only a small opportunity for someone if they wanted to do something that maybe wasn't quite on the up and up. And in absentee ballots, they have poll workers there, and they can throw a vote out if they don't think the signature matches up.
So if you want to go listen to more of that, you can find that on Ryan's page. You can find that on my social media page. The point here, there, folks, Jackie, I'll be going through and looking from every one of those. I have not looked at that yet, but you better bet your ass that 143 votes can affect a 67-point loss. No questions. No questions. And that's going to be I'm just going to tell you how it is. That area is a very, and this is kind of goofy saying this because it's the Republican primary. So everyone that voted was Republican, but it's a very Republican conservative area. And in saying that, I mean, number one, I feel like there were a lot of Ryan signs in that area. And I feel like there's a lot of support for Webb in that area. My question to the clerk's office is, what the hell, man? Where the hell are these votes? Why would that say? Why would that say that? That blows me away. There's like literally no reason why that should say that. That's insane. So real quick here, I guess let's just, I don't know if this will work like this. Let's see if it does. I don't know if it works like this or not. Here's precinct 1, election day 139. Let's see if it does this. Did that kick over to, are we on precinct 2 now?
The vote number changed. So
did it okay, so it changed to 192?
Yep.
Okay, 450. All right. Did it change? Does it say 3 down here at the bottom? Okay. 139, there we go. 87,629. 104,314. 94,312. 136,622. 128,1015. 55, 0, and 6. All right, let me find out where this is. Precinct 10. Let me see where precinct 10 is. I think precinct 10 is Oakwood building. And I find it odd that there would be 0 paper ballots there, but okay. Precinct 11. All right, so precinct 1 is Friends of Memorial Church. Precinct 2 is Lutheran Church of the Cross, Wheeling Avenue. 3 is Westminster Presbyterian Church. 4 is The Haven on Marleon Drive. 6 is the Holy Trinity Lutheran Church. 7 is Delaware County Fairgrounds. 8 is the Oakwood building. 9 is Southside Middle School. 10 is the Oakwood building again. 11, here we are in 11, is Riverview Church of the Nazarene. 1, 11, 11, and 23. Precinct 12 is Royce Bewley Recreation Center. 79, 4, and 25. And I'll be honest, it seems interesting that there would only be 4 absentee ballots at the Bewley Center. That's really shocking, honestly. 13 is Maring Hunt Library, 95, 12, and 12. Precinct 14 is Ross Community Center, 148, 8 and 11. Man, that's a really low number of absentee walk-ins. Or absentee and walk-in. Absentee, definitely. All right, 15 is Ross Center again. All right, there we've got 12. 1, 17, 12, and 10. Precinct 18. Let's see here. Precinct 18 is The Crossing, and that's 42, 3, and 15. Precinct 19 is the Boys and Girls Club, 69, 0, and 13. Man, see, just seeing this is funky to me. Man, maybe that's the case, but I can't believe there's not one person there that didn't do a mail-in ballot. Precinct 20 is the Muncie Housing Authority, Price Hall, 61, 12, and 18. Precinct 22 is Southside Middle School, 125, 8, and 10. Precinct 23 is Ross Community Center, 104, 14, and 10. Precinct 25 is the First Presbyterian Church on Riverside. That's in BSU area. That's 66, 3, and 13. 26 is, again, the same area. That's 75, 0, and 24. Precinct 27 is Delaware County Fairgrounds. It's 55, 3, and 6. And Election Day is the Election Day, obviously. Paper absentee is mail-in, and walk-in absentee is early voting by machine. 28 is Riverview Church of the Nazarene on East Willard. 148, 4, and 23. Precinct 29 is Mansfield Park, 173, 19, and 24. Precinct 33 is 277, 21, and 33. 33. 34 is Westminster Presbyterian Church on Riverside, 217, 8, and 26. Precinct 35 is the Garden at Gethsemane on McGalliard Road, 123, 28, and 18. Precinct 36 is 180, 16, and 30. 180, 16, and 30. That's Precinct 36. That is Northside Church of God on Tillotson. Precinct 38 is Westview Elementary School. 192, 8, and 34. Precinct 39 is Union Chapel Ministries, and that is what are we done here? 39. Let's go back and see what's going on there. Okay, that didn't look right. 39 is 70, 6, and 23. That was Union Chapel. Precinct 40 is the Garden again, 176, 14, and 48. Precinct 41 is Mansfield Park, 93, 4, and 424. Precinct 42 is the Haven, 23, 0, and 1. Man, that's just funky. 43 is Union Chapel again. That's 14, 1, and 4. Precinct 44 is Southside Church of the Nazarene on Fuson Road, 76, 4, and 16. Precinct 45 is the Remedy City Church on Oakwood. 45 is 204 and 27. Precinct 46 is TRC Head Start. 169, 6, and 18. Precinct 47 is The Remedy City Church again, 124, 5, and 28. Precinct 48 is Union Chapel. That's my grandmother's old precinct. 72, 6, and 12. Precinct 49, 26, 2, 7. 49 is at Lutheran Church of the Cross, North Wheeling. 50 is 202, 1433. Precinct 50 is at Northside Church of God. 51 is in Daleville, Daleville Town Hall. 51, 121, 12, and 32. 52 is 156, 18, and 12. 52 is Daleville Town Hall. 53 is Yorktown Middle School. 111, 15, 26. 54 is also Yorktown Middle School. 189, 22, 48. Precinct 55 is Yorktown High School. 251, 3, and 43. 56 is Westminster Village. 204, 29, and 20. Precinct 57 is Gaston United Methodist Church. 297, 19, and 14. Precinct 58 is University Christian Church on Nebo. 58. 58, 0, and 25. Precinct 59, 265, 14, and 30. 59 is Liberty Baptist Church on Callan Road. Precinct 60 is mine, Hamilton Township Volunteer Fire Department. 182, 6, and 20. See, Ryan Webb came out top there. See, and okay, so this is walk-in, mail-in, 64, 86. All right, so look here. Oh, no. He's in, okay, so this puts him in fourth place in Royerton. All right, 61. 61 is Eaton Community Building. In Eaton, 99, 3, and 3. Precinct 62 is Harris Chapel in Selma. 247, 11, and 37. Precinct 63 is 92, 5, and 11. Precinct 63 is Delaware County Highway Garage. Four. Uh, 64 is Delaware County Highway Garage. 208, 23, and 33. 65 is DeSoto United Methodist Church. 315, 9, and 32. 66 is Albany Fire Station. 196 and 11. 196 and 11. 67 is also the fire station in Albany, 150. Wait a minute. So 67 had 150, 6, and 14. And 68. Okay. No. 66 is the Albany Fire Station. They had 196 and 11. Okay. 67 was 150, 6, and 14. 68 is Albany Fire Station, and they had 49, 2, and 3. 69 is Hamilton Township Fire Company on State Road 3. It's 160, 9, 28. Precinct 70 is 270, 13, and 54. And that is People of Praise on Moore Road. Jessica Piper had 105. Lookout had 107. And Webb had 80. So he was in third place there. Okay. 71 is Yorktown High School. 266, 1854. '73 is Liberty Baptist Church. 333, 26, 45. 74 is University Christian Church on Nebo. 221, 19, and 42. 75 is Delaware County Highway Garage. 186, 13, and 40. 77 is Eaton Community Building. 172, 10, and 22. Precinct 78 is Westdale High School, 233, 12, and 51. Precinct 81 is Muncie Alliance Church, 32 and 2. Precinct 87 is New Life Presbyterian Church in Yorktown. And this is where they turned away about 35 voters early in the morning. And they had 256 walk-in, 11 paper, and 33 early. Now let's take a look at how the votes fell here. 123 for Piper, 115 for Bookout, and 75 for Ryan. So he's in third place there. And they turned away 35 voters early in the morning. Around there. Here's 88, which is Yorktown Middle School, 242, 10, and 54. Okay, and then that brings us to precinct 90, which has 0 walk-in votes. Okay, then precinct, and that's at Eden Church on North 3. Precinct 91 is also Eden Church. Okay, now look at this. I mean, I need to see what. Give me a second here. I need to look at the precinct here. I need to see what the deal is, because that's not making sense to me. GIS maps. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling up the map. Close. Voting precincts. What I want. All right, 90. So 90. Is all right. There is no way. There is no way. There's no way. There is absolutely no way that there's 0 people that voted that day inside this precinct area. Because it includes a big chunk of area. What was the other place I was on? Which precinct was this? 91. Okay, 91. Could have 9 people in it. 91, that would make sense. That would make sense that 9 that would make sense. I would have no problem with that. I would have no problem buying that 9 people are there. As far as Precinct 90 is a big ass precinct. Okay. So Precinct 92, moving on. Precinct 92 says 4, 0, and 1. Precinct 92 is made up of St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church, 92. Seems like they might need to. Let's see where 92 is at. Okay. All right. 92. 92, it would make sense that there would be that few of people. That makes sense. All right. 93 is St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church as well, and it has 198, 7, and 31. 94 is Daleville Town Hall, 237, 9, and 13. Precinct 95 is New Life Presbyterian Church, 107, 6, and 16. That's again where they turn people away at that place. Precinct 98 is Muncie Alliance Church, and it's 128, 1, and 23. And that's the end of the line. So, folks, okay, and we see what Ryan's saying here. He received, in 2020, he received 65 votes in Precinct 90. Wow, I don't know, man. This is really crazy. I don't know. We're going to have to see what goes on here. We're just going to have to find out what goes on here. I say the biggest issue is what I heard. And I wasn't even going to talk about that because I wanted to talk to Ryan. I hadn't had a chance to talk to Ryan today. And I wanted to talk to him and find out if what happened between him and Rick was true. I would say single-handedly, just the fact that Rick acted the way that he did this morning is reason enough for recount. Rick has, he was mildly nice last night, but because of the way that he's treated me in the past, piss on him. I don't know if he's got a brain tumor or what. I mean, I guess I'm glad Ryan Webb's an elected official and he feels he can yell at him.
Would there be video of this?
What?
Would there be video of this that we could watch?
I'm trying to think, because it's if it was in the Justice Center, yes. At the county building, no, I don't think so. Because the county building was built before that, and they never, to my knowledge, they never had video. The whole time I worked there, they didn't have video, and I don't think there is. I honestly don't think there is. I think that there is camera that the security has put up in a couple places, but it's just so they can. It's not a recording camera. It's so they can see during the day, what's happening on the third floor. I don't think it records anything. But I will check. And they need to get him in control, because if he's yelling at people like that, that's definitely ridiculous. So, yeah, Ryan, I'm glad that you brought this here to the political spotlight. You definitely need to contact the newspaper. And I will start doing some digging and looking and find out what the deal is here. Look, at the end of the day, like him, you don't like him, whatever the deal is, but God's honest truth be, you want the election to be right. You don't want something to be off, because if the thing is, you got to tell yourselves, if they can cheat to kick somebody off that you don't like, one of these days they will cheat to kick somebody off that you do like. So that's why I'm not okay with that. I would never want someone to cheat in my favor, because the minute they do that, then I know they could cheat against me. It was just outside the door of the voter registration office. That's absolutely gross that he would do that. And to hell with him for that. So, all right, folks, we're going to get off here. Man, I thought we were going to be on here for like 30 minutes. So goes that. That's always how it goes. That's potential 400 votes not counted going off 2016. Yeah, because look, 2020 was a freaking weird deal. To me, you can't really judge 2020. Because 2020 was COVID. You had it was a month later than normal. It was June instead of May, and just all kinds of shit was wrong. So this is potentially big. Now, I'll tell you.
In June of 2020, they were still running daily numbers on any news channel you opened up of how many people were sick, how many people were dead. People were terrified in June of 2020 still.
Yeah. There's like, I'm not going to go vote. I could die. I'm not going to go vote for Ryan Webb. I could die. Voting for Ryan Webb is like death. All right, folks. Thank you all for being here. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. We will do a show tomorrow. And unless something crazy happens, I am going to do my level best to not be here Friday or Saturday. So that'll be fantastic. But we will be here for one more night. That's tomorrow. You guys take care. Rick is out after this next go. He's done. He's termed out. So he will no longer be in the clerk's office after his term is up here. Thank the Lord. That is fantastic to hear. I want him to leave politics. He does not need to stick around. He's absolutely horrible. So I didn't take any jabs, thank God. All right, you guys take care. Have a great evening. Be safe. Have a wonderful Thursday. And tune in tomorrow. We'll have some very interesting shit for you, I promise. Take care. Good night. Goodbye. Goodbye. Wait, pause this just 1 second. I didn't even talk about what was going on with the Redevelopment Commission meeting tomorrow. Listen, if you're still here, just briefly, I'm not even going to say it. There was this information that got put out. This was on election day.
Let me get the banner down.
Oh, you're fine. That's all right. This was put there too. It's basically, instead of being 12,000, it was 18,000. I'm going to go to this tomorrow, and it's not going to be live, but I'm going to record it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. This is a big deal. All right. Good night. We'll do it that way. You guys take care. Good night. Goodbye.